All right, we are back with another Pick'em video. It is Friday, December 5th in the NBA, and we have a massive slate, 12 games. I've got some plays that I'm loving that I'm going to take you through today. So if that sounds cool, go ahead and leave the video a like, comment something down below. Random comment today is going to get a free month in my Discord. So comment something down below. It can be literally anything. It could be an emoji, a word. It could be some long thing, all that I'll read. I'll respond to all of them. You know I always do. And again, I want to give out a free month in my Discord. So comment something, like the video, all those good things. We're going to jump into the recap of yesterday's video picks real quick, and then we'll hop into the plays for today. Loving the slate. Some really good games on tonight. So excited for it. And happy Friday. So jumping into the recap of yesterday's picks real quick, we talked about 3 of them. We ended up going 2-1. Claxton hooks us with his 9th rebound with about 2 minutes left in that game, unfortunately. But the other 2 wins, absolutely domination. Jordan Walsh had this in the first half, easy money, 22 points, 7 rebounds. He crushed that line against the Wizards. And then Sandro Mamukelashvili, 1.5 assists. He had 5 of those things. Easy money cashes. So that puts us up 0.79 units yesterday. We'll obviously take the profitable day. Could have been a little better if Claxton didn't end up hooking us, but that's going to happen sometimes, and we are still up 12.16 units on the NBA season, which we love to see. That's just the YouTube video picks. If you want access to all my plays, there's a link in the description down below for my Discord community. There's a limited amount of people that can sign up for that 50% off code. Highly recommend checking us out. And of course, if you want to win the comment randomizer today, someone is going to win a free month of my Discord just by commenting down below, and I'll announce that in tomorrow's video. So yeah, we've been cooking. You're going to see the run has changed. Because I didn't want double-digit losses. We would be 24-10 right now, but it's going to show 13-5 just because I got rid of the beginning half of the run, and we're still cooking. So hopefully you guys are enjoying these videos. I appreciate all the likes, all the comments, and everything like that. Let's hop into the plays for today to continue cooking up some winners. So jumping into play number 1, Paolo Banchero is going to be back today. Is he going to face a minutes restriction? Potentially, but I'm still going to take his over. Rebounds and assists, not going to go to his scoring. I don't even know why I'm showing last year, but he's obviously been cooking this line. He, again, might be on a minutes restriction. That's why this line is so low. But the Magic have played pretty well without Paolo Banchero, and I know he hears the noise about, is Paolo a winning type of player, or is he not a winning type of player? So if I'm thinking about basketball archetype and people talking about, hey, Paolo, you can see the success we're going through. We need to play a little bit more team basketball, getting everyone involved. I don't think Paolo's going to go out there and just be a chuck. I think he's going to be an aggressive rebounder. I think he's going to be, trying to find the right play. And I don't think he's going to go out there and try to score every single time, which he doesn't typically do anyway. He's a great rebounder. He's a great assister. But I just think there's going to be something in the back of his head telling him, hey, I need to be a team player to actually start, my advanced stats say that I'm a net negative player, even though I'm a very good talent. So I think he's going to try to affect the game in different ways than just scoring. And this is a great matchup to do so. The team they're going up against has the number 1 pace in the entire league. They give up 21st ranked in terms of assists, so they give up the 10th or the 9th, 10th most assists, and then they're literally 29th ranked in terms of rebounds allowed because of that pace. So there's going to be more opportunities for assists, there's going to be more opportunities for rebounds, and I think he's going to be able to go out there and do that. The one game he played 26 minutes this year, that was against the Wizards. It was a game they won by 31. He crushed this line anyways, but even dating back to last year, if we're going to see, let's say, 20 to 30 minutes today, nothing more, nothing less, even last year, he was able to go over this in 75% of games. So I think they've been talking to Paolo. They can see how he affects the game, how much of a talent he is. He's not a bad basketball player in terms of IQ. He just needs to go out there, play winning basketball, and I think he's got a great matchups to go out there and do that today. Don't shoot 20 times, Paolo. You're coming back from injury. Maybe affect the game in other ways. You're one of the bigger guys out there. Go out and rebound the ball, which you can do, and you can absolutely find the right player at the right time in a matchup that works off pace. So I'm loving Paolo here. 9.5 rebounds and assists over his 9.5, or I just said that, 9.5 rebounds and assists. Minus 118 on BetMGM. Moving into play number 2, it's going to be a crazy one, plus 150 play. I'll discuss the exact unit size I'm going towards this. Probably won't be a full 1 unit play, but I want to tack some plus money here for Kawhi Leonard against the Memphis Grizzlies to knock down some 3-pointers. Now, why am I going to this? Now, first of all, he's over 50% of games already, and we're getting 150 payout. Pretty good payout regardless of anything else, 50% hit rate on the season. But he's got a good matchup for threes. 24th ranked in terms of 3-pointers made allowed, and then we are 3-pointers attempted, and 22nd ranked above the 3. He pretty much never shoots a corner 3, so that's 32% of his shots. Pretty much all of his threes come from above the break, and this is a good matchup for that. The other thing I'll point out is it might be a difficult matchup for getting some free throws, means attacking the paint typically, and also pick and roll ball handling, very weak. Spot up opportunities. Kawhi, not really a catch and shoot kind of guy. Only 21% of his shots are catch and shoot. He's more of a create his own offense in pull-up situations, kind of like a Derek White kind of guy. Even from three-pointer, he's kind of got that set shot where he kind of steps into the three-pointer when he's doing it. He also does that in the mid-range opportunities. Next thing I'll point out is off screens. If he is going to be working off screens and James Harden can find him something like that, this is a great opportunity for getting some wide open threes that way. So I think it's a great avenue to get some threes against this defense. He already got this against this team already once, 3 of 7 from 3. He's not a guy that's going to shoot 15 threes typically, but if he can shoot 7 or 8 threes, really liking our chances here. Every game he goes under, it's because he's shooting a horrible percentage. Against the Hawks, 1 of 7 3. That was the last game he played. Typically has a bounce back spot when he comes out and shoots horribly. 1 of 5 from 3, that's 20%. Bounces back against the Grizzlies. 2 of 8, 25%. Bounces back against the Cavs, shoots 60%. Again, 1 of 4, 25%. Bounces back against the Pelicans for 5 threes on 5 of 8 shooting. So he's got a great bounce back opportunity. He's got a great matchup in terms of the threes. And the next thing I'll point to is I'll talk about the free throws attempted per game, but I want to just look at the position defense against pull-ups, because that's 56% of his shots. I talked about he kind of steps into that three-pointer. Not a huge catch-and-shoot guy, which they're about middle of the road in terms of defense on. But this pull-up defense being weak is very good sign for me. If you go to teams that are allowing the bottom half in terms of this defense, he's over this in 66% of games. And we can actually go till last year, too, going to teams that are in the bottom half of pull-up defense. He's over this in 45% of games, as instead of teams that are really good at defending that pull-up defense, top half of the league, he's only over this in 26% of games. So that pull-up defense is actually huge for me looking at their defense so far this year. Very, very weak to that pull-up. That means, to me, again, they're very, very weak to individual defense and more of a better team defensive team in general. So I'm liking the spot against the Grizzlies. They give up a lot of threes. It's a plus 150 play for a reason. There's probably a little bit less chance he goes over than under, but I'm liking the read here overall, and I like the value we're getting on FanDuel right now. So plus 150 play against a defense that gives up a lot of threes. He's already done it once against these guys, and he's got a bounce back spot going 1 of 7 from 3 last game. I'm loving Kawhi. Hopefully he gets some minutes on the court. This is a 2.5 point spread, so hopefully he stays close. The Clippers tend to get blown out a lot, and then they had a huge game last game against the Hawks where they won by 23. But they're dealing with injuries. Typically, it's going to be more and more time for Kawhi Leonard, like kind of forcing him to play that much time on the court. We can see he doesn't always play a ton of minutes, but he can absolutely get into the 35-minute mark if this game stays close, and that just means more time in the court, more opportunities to shoot the three. So loving Kawhi, plus 150 on the 2.5 3-pointers. I'm going to roll the dice on a pretty good plus money play. Jumping into play number 3, going to go with Myles Turner, who's been horrible, honestly, this entire year, but he's still over this points, rebounds, assist line, 19.5, minus 118 on BetMGM right now. And this is going to be a no Giannis play. He's been, again, horrible the past 4 games. He's only been getting less and less time. But this is a guy they just signed for a huge deal. He's going to be part of their future most realistically. And a game without Giannis is just going to boost his usage up a huge percent. I was just looking at his usage percentage for the year, 17.5. Games without Giannis, I mean, you're going to see the hit rate jumps up to 21% without Giannis. He's been crushing this in games without Giannis. Hasn't played less than 28 minutes in a game without Giannis. They're going to need his size out there. He's a good player. I don't know what he's been doing so far this season. Maybe he got the bag and decided to take a year off. But he's been bad, to be totally honest. And I think he's still going to get the time on the court because of how much they have invested against him. And it's a bad matchup when you look at it on paper in terms of catch and shoot, spot up opportunities. But without Giannis, again, the usage just goes up. He's going to get more shots anyway, probably more at the rim. But even if it's a bad spot, or even if it's a bad spot up matchup, good spot up defense, good catch and shoot defense, I just think he's still going to be able to get enough volume to get there in terms of the points. And he can chip in with some rebounds. He can chip in with 1 or 2 or 3 assists on any given night. So I think this PRA line just seems too low, 19.5. And again, just looking at the games without Giannis, I don't care that he's been playing bad the past 4 games. I want to look at games that he's going to get the huge boost here. And I think he's going to be hopefully in a bounce back spot coming off. Really, again, the Pistons game, he was just horrible. He didn't even get the run. Jericho Sims was running him out the gym, playing very, very well. They got the win in that game. KPJ, Jericho, playing very, very well. So I think Myles Turner in a bounce back spot here. They're going to go, hey, look, we don't have Giannis anymore. We got to bring some offense from you. He's getting the shots when Giannis doesn't play, 7-12, 7-14, 7-13. Tough matchup, tough matchup against the Pistons. But then again, he gets it against the Blazers, and then a huge game against the Heat where he shot 15 times. He's already done it against the 76ers, 25 PRA in that game, 28 minutes in a 9-point loss. This is a 1-point spread. Hopefully he can come out there, prove that he's worth the money they signed him for. And just looking at this line, kind of gazing lines like, hey, which one seems too low, too high? This one really popped out as one that just like, that seems really, really low for a game without Giannis. So run with the 19.5 PRA for Myles Turner he's been disappointing, but hopefully he doesn't disappoint tonight. And if you don't trust Myles Turner, I honestly totally get it. I think he's going to be able to get there, but Jericho Sims has played really, really well. His minutes have just gone up in the past 3 games, as honestly Myles Turner's played like trash. But no, Giannis is going to open up more minutes for him too. He obviously has not been getting the minutes, but the past 3 games, they've trusted him. He's been able to rebound really well. He's been able to score very well. There's not really an assister, but points and rebounds line, probably not, it's not even offered right now on any sports book, but he could be a sneaky pick if his line drops and comes out very, very low. Just something to think about if you hate the Myles Turner play. And if you're looking at me using this tool and you're like, damn, I'm going to try this tool out, you can. There's a link in the description down below, 25% off your first month. It's called Props Madness, one of my favorite research tools out there. Absolutely the best visual data aggregation tool out there in terms of NBA. They got some NFL as well, and WNBA is huge in the summer. Definitely check them out. Link in the description down below for 25% off your first month. Let them know that I sent you there. Jumping into play number 4, it's going to be Dylan Harper over his 6.5 rebounds and assists, plus 105 on DraftKings right now. He was killing this line early in the season when he was getting around 25 minutes a game. Then he got hurt in this game against the Suns, and he's kind of been slightly trickling up in terms of his minutes again. 22 minutes against the Magic just last game. So hopefully we see 23, 24, maybe even 25 minutes in this game against the Cavs. I like to see that he got there against the Magic as well. Very tough defense. This defense against the Cavs in terms of rebounds and assists, not the worst in the world. They 15th ranked in terms of assists allowed, 22nd ranked in terms of rebounds allowed. There's a 3.5 point spread. Hopefully no blowout situation, but they're dealing with a ton of injuries. And again, if he's going to get 20 plus minutes on the court here, the hit rate turns to 62.5%. Again, I like to see the uptick in minutes as he comes back from injury. Hopefully he gets a little bit more time on the court today. But 20 plus, he's been over this in a lot of games. He can absolutely crush this in terms of rebounds. He can almost get there in rebounds alone. He can get there in assists alone. He's kind of one of those guys that chips in a little bit on both sides of the court. But young dude, young stud for sure. And they're going to want to slowly progress this guy back into form after the injury he dealt with for a few weeks. But I like the potential for more minutes today. I don't expect anything less than 20 minutes. So Dylan Harper, loving this matchup. Against the Cavs, it's really more of a minutes play. When he gets the time in the court, he can absolutely crush this line. And for plus 105, I'm absolutely loving the value here. Again, not the most amazing matchup in the world for rebounds and assists, but in a minutes play for a guy that has been doing it against tough teams, against bad teams, I like what I see from him. So Dylan Harper, plenty injuries, no Castle, no Wemby, no Luke Cornett, more opportunities for rebounds, more opportunities for handling the ball, and hopefully he can go out there and do it against the Cavs. And then moving into the 5th and final play, I got Mark Williams over 10.5 points, minus 118 on FanDuel. This line's super low, and it's for good reason. He's got a very hard matchup against the Rockets, 11.5 point spread. No Booker, no Jalen Green in this game. Booker, I think he missed most of all last game. He was still able to get over 13 points. But it's a difficult matchup for Mark Williams. They got to feed the big man at some point. And Colin Gillespie's been pretty good at finding the right play each and every game. Grayson Allen's been pretty good at diming up. And even in games he's going against teams that are really good in restricted area defense, top 10, let's say, he's still over this in 60% of those games. But he's also had some struggles in a lot of those games too. So he's over this in 60%. Even the really tough matchups, top 5, he's over this in 2 of the 3 against the Thunder. He's hit it against the Jazz. He had a really good game against the Jazz and then ended on 9 points, but just seems a little bit too low, especially when you consider the main 2 offensive weapons are going to be out of this game. It just means there's got to be more opportunities for him to score the ball. If you look at games last year, obviously over this in a ton of games, but games without LaMelo Ball last year, you can see he's still over in 70% of those games. Without Brandon Miller in those games, he's still over in 75% of those games. So the 2 main distributors, main scorers in the games being out, he was still over in a lot of these games. So this is kind of one of those where it's like, hey, is his line just too low? I don't love the matchup. It's a tough matchup against the Rockets. Could be a blowout, but there's not a lot of whole offensive weapons to go to, and a guy that just camps right at the rim, even in a tough matchup, can still score some buckets there. Could do some damage in transition, pick and roll big man. They're a little bit weaker too. So there's avenues for him to score for sure. And there's a point where like, hey, if this was at 4.5 points, you're obviously going to go to the over, even in a tough matchup. And 10.5 just seems a little bit too low here, even in a tough matchup. So I'm going with Mark Williams, 10.5 points, minus 118 on FanDuel as the 5th and final play. So jumping into the recap, I found 5 plays that I'm liking. Those are the ones I shared with you. Honestly, not in love with this slate as of right now from a ton of injuries and things like that. There'll be more that I find and I send to the Discord later on in the day. And also want to point out, we're on 24-10 run over the last 6 or 7 videos, and we're at a 70% hit rate in terms of those individual plays. even though we're attacking, minus 118, minus 105, minus 110 plays a lot of the time, there's going to be some sort of regression back to the 57 or so % hit rate that I'm generally around, which is going to be a profitable hit rate. If anyone's saying they're hitting it 75, 80% consistently, they're just lying, or they're going to like minus 250 plays all the time. We very consistently go to around the 50-50 plays. That's why I like to attack. And sometimes we get crazy with it, a plus 150 play here and there. Sometimes we ladder plays up and certain things like that. But I'm loving these plays. Again, huge slate. There's going to be a lot of value as we get more injury news. So that's what I'm going to be doing for the rest of the day. But these are the 5 plays. Mark Williams over his 10.5 points. Dylan Harper, rebounds and assists. Myles Turner over his PRA, even though he's been horrible lately. It seems like it's too low without Giannis. If you don't like Myles Turner, I said go to Jericho Sims. Has been great the last few games. Kawhi Leonard over his threes, plus 150. I'm going to do it as a 0.7 play. That just means if we win that, we're going to win about a unit there. So I like the 0.7 play there. And then Paolo Banchero, 9.5 rebounds and assists coming back from injury. Might be on some sort of minutes restriction, but even in 20 to 30 minutes, I think he can get there, especially considering, hey, all the news about him. Are you a losing player? He's not going to go out there and chuck the ball 25 times. He's going to go out there and try to make the right play, get the rebounds, play some hustle ball, and hopefully he crushes this 9.5 rebounds and assists, even in some limited time. So that'll do it for me. Thank you guys for watching. Again, access to all my plays in the link in the description down below. Check out Props Madness. That was a tool I was using all throughout the video. And also comment something down below, because I'm going to give a random commenter a free month of my Discord from this video. I'll announce that in next video. So I will see you guys in the next one. Again, loving this slate. It's going to be a great slate overall. There's just a lot of injury news right now. So not loving it as of right now, but in a couple hours or so, I'm going to continue looking for plays, and there's going to be a lot of good ones that pop up. And that's when I'll be sending slips all throughout the Discord community. So a lot of fun. Check out the links in the description down below. Plenty of ways to get in for free too. Signing up using my codes to PrizePicks, Underdog, Dabble, Chalkboard, any of those platforms that you're not already on. Might as well sign up, get some free money for signing up using my code and getting a free month of my Discord. But yeah, that'll do it for me. Thank you guys for watching like always, and I will see you in the next one, which will be tomorrow. So good luck with all your bets. Peace out.